Hello, my name is Bill. I'm going to be doing a video called Last Thursdayism Can Be Proven. Okay, I don't believe atheism. It doesn't exist. I'm not religious in any way, but I'm not belonging to any religion. I'm just going to give you some information that proves that human beings would not do this. Okay, babies can't take care of babies. Okay, if we were all babies, it wouldn't work. Just like the chicken and the egg were at the same time. The chicken was never an egg. The teacher was never a student. The first electrician never went to electrician school, and the plumber and so on. The gods have to create adults that already knew how to do things. So it's very, very obvious to me when I look at this stuff. We didn't create Lake Tahoe or Mount Everest or the Grand Canyon. The gods did. The gods created religion. They created the Bible. They created the globe. They're the ones that created the globe. They're the ones that created the flat earth. It'd be impossible for a human to survey even a state or a county. And I'll show you what's going on here. I'll start right into it. Okay, boundary. Constitution of State of Nevada, 1864, which did not exist. Commencing at a point formed by the intersection of the 43rd degree of longitude west from Washington with the 42nd degree of north latitude, which should be from the equator. First of all, this should be township and range. Second of all, that should be Greenwich. Okay, this description, it's just like they go to the middle of the Colorado River. That's just not the way it should be done. And then this is amendment, and it's really small, so I'm gonna have to. This is 1981. Commencing at a point formed by the intersection of the 38th degree of longitude west from Washington with the 37th degree of north latitude. The same description, but they reversed. Instead of starting from the west, they started from the east. So it's the same description, but they reversed it. And it still should be township and range. Okay? Only the gods can do this. No surveyor is going to take credit for a legal description like this. No surveyor is going to say, yep, I'm the one that did that. In the meantime, this is Article 21 of the California Constitution, boundary. The boundary of the state of California should be as follows. Commencing at the point of the intersection of the 42nd degree of north latitude with the 120th degree of longitude west from Greenwich. So at least they got Greenwich right. But once again, it should be a meets and bounds description. Now, this is Washoe County, which was done in 1861. There was no territories. We've been on this earth for a very, very, very short period of time, since 1981. Okay, Washoe County, beginning at the northwest corner of Ormsby County, which would be in Lake Tahoe, right in the middle of Lake Tahoe, running easterly along the northerly boundary of said county to the summit of mountain east of Washoe Lake. I don't know where the summit of this mountain is. They don't even name the mountain. I know where Washoe Lake is. Thence in a northerly course along the summit of said mountains to the lower end of Big Meadows. Don't have any idea where that is. On the Truckee River, I know where that is. Then sends out said river to the lower crossing, thence east along the Immigrant Road, don't know what that is, to the summit of the mountains lying east of said river, thence north on the main summit said mountains to a point which running directly west would intersect with the Truckee River at its mouth in Pyramid Lake. I know where Pyramid Lake is. Then it's due west of the California line, then south. It's a bogus description. Doesn't have anything to do. Then they added this description, which is basically around Pyramid Lake to Oregon, and then they amended. The last amendment was in 2005. Beginning at the northwest corner of Carson City, it used to be Ormsby County, so it's starting right in the middle of Lake Tahoe and running easterly along the northerly boundary of Carson City to the county boundaries monument, common to Washoe County, Lyon County, Carson City, and Story County. They skipped all these calls to get to where these point would, and then they finally give us a description. North, 12 degrees, 22 minutes, 55 seconds west, 3,137.70 feet. To the section corners, common to 10, 11, 14, and 15 township, 16 north, range 20, and then they zigzag all the way up. And then they're at the Oregon border, and they did one of the last MDBM, base of meridian, thence northerly along the range line to the 40th degree of north latitude. That's just ridiculous. And westerly along the 40th degree of north latitude, the range line, common to range 23 east and range 24 east, M and M. Then it's northerly along the common lines through East Successful Township to the Oregon line. The gods they like to make fun of people. Let's see here. Now we got Douglas County, 1861. There shall be a county to be known as Douglas County. Beginning at Mason Ranch, no idea where it's at, on the Walker River, I do know where that's at. Running westerly in a straight line to the mouth of Clear Creek, don't know where that is. Then it's along the middle of Clear Creek to the source. Then it's due west to the California line, then south and southeastern line to the western boundary of Lyon County, then it's northerly along the boundary to the place of beginning. Notwithstanding anything to the contrary to subsection 1, the north boundary line of Douglas County is defined on March 2nd, 1965, and such boundary lines particularly described as follows. Beginning at the Mason Ranch on the Walker River and running westerly in a straight line towards the mouth of Clear Creek to a point where the line intersects the center line of El Dorado Canyon in section 18, township 14 north, range 22 east, thence northeasterly down the center line of El Dorado Canyon, a distance of 500 feet more or less, to the intersection with the point on the north boundary of section 18, which is common to the point on the south boundary of section 7, township 14 north, range 22 east, the southeast corner of the new south boundary of Carson City, and from which the point, the southeast corner of such section 7 bears south 8951 east, a distance of 1386, thence westerly along the north boundary of the Carson City to Nevada, California state line. All township and reference range are the Mount Diablo Basin meridian. Notwithstanding anything to the contrary, in section 1 and 2, the boundary line between Douglas County and Lyon County is redefined on July 1st, 1970. Such boundaries defined as follows: beginning at a point on the south boundary of Carson City and the north boundary of Douglas County, in which point in the El Dorado Canyon, blah, blah, blah. And it just goes on and on. This is what the gods do, okay? This, once again, this was updated or amended in 1965, or actually 1967. I think that's the latest. There should be some surveyors that would be alive that would have done this. I just, these gods are what they are. I'm willing to debate with somebody if you want to talk about it. Thanks for watching my video.